Well, welcome back to the channel, and you join me for an unexpected video. This was going to be a quick oil and filter change, something I've filmed before, so I didn't really bother getting the camera out. Unfortunately, on backing the car out of the garage, I had a strong smell of petrol, which I've experienced before and is quite terrifying. The first time was because the fuel pipes at the front of the car had perished, which is pretty scary because they're right next to the hot exhaust. But this was further back, looking at the garage floor. It was kind of where the diff was. So I'm immediately thinking fuel pump pipes are leaking in that area anyway. So I quickly stopped the car, jacked it up. I've took the back wheel off because the fuel pump, now we're going to need judicious use of the torch here, so just hold on a sec. Right, we now have the torch. This is the back suspension, and just round the corner from the shocker, there's the back of it, that's the fuel pump. And let me see, there you go, look, you can see it all there. Now the pipe comes out of there, goes up round the corner, and just there is the canister, which is the fuel filter, and this end of it is all wet and smelly of petrol. So I don't yet know until I get in there whether the pipe is suspect. Doesn't look to be. If I look further down at the rest of it, it looks okay. So I'm thinking maybe I've just got a leak, but I've got a brand new filter, which is one of the films I was going to do, so this is going to end up being it. So I'll get prepped and I'll try and get into a better position so I can see what's happening, and then we'll carry on. Right, I don't know how well you can see this. The fuel filter is in like a little circular band, and it's held on by a nut and bolt at the top there. So what I'm first thinking of doing is getting that nut and bolt off so I can move the filter around, and then we'll worry about all the fuel that's inside the filter and the fact that this end is probably still pressured up from the pump being on. So at the very least I'm going to need something to catch all that in, to let the pressure off. But I'll get some spanners and we'll get that band undone first, because it's going to be really awkward to get to, and then we'll progress from there. Okay, time for an update. This is a bit of a nightmare job, I'm afraid. I've managed to get a combination spanner on the back of the nut. Let's see. On the back of the nut, I hope you can see there. These are combination 13mm, both of these. Combination spanner on the back, and I am managing to get into the front with the socket set. But it's slow going, it's like one click at a time. And I suspect it's a nylock on the back, so there's no undoing it with your hand once you get it loose. So it's going to be slowly winding it out until we get the complete thing undone. Then hopefully I can slide the filter through the bracket. It has got a bit of a lip on the far end, so it'll have to be opened quite a bit. And I've got an old tray to catch any petrol in, because say the filter will be full of fuel. I don't know how much pressure will be on this pipe on this side by now, but well, we'll find out. Okay, I'll keep undoing the bolt and then we'll come back when the action starts. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back to the terror. Alright, I'll desperately try and get you a better picture. Right, there is the filter. The bracket is well open. I haven't undone the bolt all the way because it's a nightmare to get to, and it may be a nightmare to get it all back in again. So what I'm hoping is that there's enough, I can move the filter in and out, look. I'm hoping that if I take this end off, I can sort of finagle it through the bracket to get it out. But, well, we'll have to see. I'm going to take the two pipes off, try and catch as much of the fuel as I can, and then when the pipes are off we'll come back and we'll see if I can get the filter out without having to take the bolt out the top. So yeah, hold on to your hats and we'll see what happens. Hurrah! Well, it's out. There's the old filter, and there's, I don't know, well, you can tell there's quite a bit of petrol in it. Now you have to completely take that bolt out to get this filter out. There really isn't enough room. At least with the bolt out you can kind of open the strap that goes around the filter, and you've got enough room to pull it through a little bit. You can then get the hose off the other side from in the wheel arch. Don't try it from underneath. Unfortunately on mine the Jubilee clip wasn't facing in any direction that I could get to, so I had to pull it through and then do it from the wheel arch with a long screwdriver. This end, the pump end, I could get to that one. I'm sad to say that neither of these Jubilee clips were particularly tight. Bit scary that, because it's right above what would be a red exhaust while you were driving the car. So the first thing you would know about it is the whole back of your car would be on fire. Now, I don't like Jubilee clips on fuel lines, so I've got some proper fuel clips. So I'm going to swap those, and the end that's this pump end, the pipe's quite squashed, so I'm going to cut 1 centimetre off. I've got plenty of pipe on this end. I'm going to cut the centimetre off, so we're on brand new pipe. I've got the new filter. It is directional, so you have to get it the right way. So the pump on this end, and this end is the bit that goes towards the front of the car. So I'm going to put the other end on and put the new clip on and tighten that on. There is a little like nipple on the end to stop the pipe coming off in theory, so even if it's loose it shouldn't ever really fly off. Same on this end. So I'm going to put this end on, push it through the clamp. I'll get the other end on, I'll get this end on, and then we'll get the bolt back through the clamp and then go through that horrible procedure of having to tighten it up one turn at a time. So I'll go find some fuel clips and I'll be back shortly. Okay, right, another update. These are the fuel clips I'm talking about. They look like this, so they're solid rather than being a Jubilee clip. So total transparency, this one is too small and this is the biggest one I've got. So unfortunately I've had to go with the standard TVR clip. So I've got both pipes back on. It's just loose in the bracket. They're way tighter than they were. This end I cut 1 centimetre off with a craft knife, so I've got a nice new piece of pipe going up to the filter. I'm now just going to put the ignition on and prime the fuel pump and then check to see if anything's leaking, because now's the time to find out. So we'll do that next. Right, we're on the final furling now, so we need to put the bolt in. Now, I didn't have any nylocks that size, so what I've done is I've got, let me show you, I've got a little spring washer and a normal washer for it to sit up against to make it easier to do up. So that'll put pressure on the nut to stop it vibrating loose. I mean, the other one had never vibrated loose in, you know, all the years. But it's a bit of belt and braces, so I'm going to put this in and then we just have to go through the long job of doing it up again in such awkward access. Now I have found that I can actually get across the top, I can actually get the combination spanner in this side where my hand is. I can get in there and I can get that around that side, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier putting it back together, but we'll see. The filter is in. I managed to get the bolt in. I put it the other way around so it's easy to get the nut in where I had most access, and then I used a small, like this, I used a small socket wrench because I couldn't get the big one in, because, you know. So I've managed to get it tightened up. Only thing to do now is tidy up, get the wheel back on, and then give it another try. I did turn the pump on, primed it, and then ran the car while watching underneath, and nothing's coming out, so that looks like it's cured it. So an interesting evening. I wasn't really expecting to be doing this tonight, but I'm glad I found it, because that is potentially disastrous. So maybe something to, you know, to put on your checklist for every 6 months or so, just to make sure these things are tight, because it caught me out and it might catch you out too. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe, like, all that good stuff, ring the bell or whatever you're supposed to do, and we'll see you in the next video. Another one coming up soon. Right, quick PS, I know I bang on about this every time. Get yourself a torque wrench. This one's cheap, 30 quid from Amazon, and do your wheel nuts up according to the torque. Usually about 90 to 110 foot-pounds. You'll have to look in your book to find out. I don't know if you've ever tried to get a wheel nut off after some monkey has windy-gunned it on, but it's a nightmare, especially if you're in a dangerous situation like on a hard shoulder on a motorway. So do yourself a favour, they're not as tight as everyone thinks they need to be. So about 100 foot-pounds, no more. Great. See you on the next video. Thanks, bye bye.